Good morning. Good morning. Can I ask everybody to please? Good morning. Can I ask everybody please to rise now for the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I ask everybody to remain standing as I ask Reverend Lopez to please come up?
Good morning, everyone. Today, let's find comfort in God's light. Remember that even in our darkest moments, God's love and presence shine through, turning our darkness into light. Let us pray. As we gather this morning for fellowship and networking, let us take a moment to pause and reflect. We are grateful for the opportunity to come together as a community of businesses, united in purpose and passion, and may our conversations be fruitful, our collaborations be strong, and our efforts contribute to the growth and prosperity of Yonkers. Bless this gathering and guide our hearts and minds as we share ideas and inspire one another. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Steve. Okay. I'm going to start going around the room so everybody can introduce themselves.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lily Tucci. I'm the new Director of Advancement at Sacred Heart High School.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lita Salmar, and I'm from the SBDC, Small Business Development Center. We help small businesses in any aspect that you need, whether you're starting a business or you have an existing business.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lolita Brown, pro with the E. I'm chemical engineer, and also I am tax prepared certified for IRS. We have experience for 22 years, and also we're waiting for you for start in January 5th for start to working income taxes. I have here business card in English and Spanish for your workers. And I'm ready for waiting for you. And God bless. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Rafael Salas. I work for the Mexican government and for the Ministry of Economy. Hope to make great connections with you.
I'm sorry, I forget something very important for me. My son, Rafa Salas Vasquez, is coming for visit us, and they give me the good news and give for you, to you, all the good news. God bless everyone. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Barbara Saunders, and I am the City of Yonkers Business Services Liaison. And what I do is I go around to businesses and inform them of the free services that we have, from recruiting, helping you get, staff your company, to services such as, we have like tax incentives, federal bonding, and one of the programs is OJT, on the job training. If you train on site, we are allowed with the funding to give you up to 50% of your new hire salary. All right, thank you so much.
Morning, everybody. My name is Tom Petriccioni. I'm an attorney at Jackson Lewis, which is a labor and employment law firm helping management side. So happy to answer any questions anyone might have.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. My name is Diane Pratt. My company is Phoenix for Life Coaching, and I'm a wellness and empowerment business coach. I work with clients who want to develop their self-growth and development. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Murphy. I'm the I own and operate the IT media consulting company New Logical. Pleasure to see everybody. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Tony Clarmolil. I am a physician at Columbia University, so I also happen to run my own business as well, which is in the business process outsourcing field, where we give financial help to physicians, physician groups, hospital groups, and so forth.
This is my wife, Angeles. My name is Christian. I work with New York Life, and I help people with different insurance and investment products. And yeah.
Good morning, friends. Anna Baratella, Yonkers Partners in Education. Just really happy to be here with everybody today. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Alexa Dalvis. I'm the new Director of Development at Yonkers Partners in Education.
Good morning, I'm Chuck Lesnick, former Yonkers City Council President. Glad to be here at St. John's Riverside Hospital. I spent a week here last week with my dad, who is now recovering. So I thank you very much. He can walk again. He's 92 and he received excellent health here.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul Ranieri from DC Ranieri Insurance Agency. We are a local independent insurance agent, fourth generation. Actually, Carl, my son, is not here. Maybe he'll make it. He's got two little ones. But we handle home, auto, and business insurance. We're licensed in about 20 states. We've got a great team of staff at our office on Palmer Road. So thank you all. And I love the view. This is the best view, the best breakfast view. So everybody enjoy it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Noelle Rosado, and I'm with American Maintenance 3. We are a commercial, residential, and post-construction cleaning company, and this is our first Yonkers Chamber meeting.
Well, welcome.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bill Schneider, and I'm with PS&S Engineering. We are a local engineering company right down in Larcombe Plaza, and we'd be happy to help you with any of your development here in the city of Yonkers or in the Hudson Valley. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Manny Correa. I'm a branch manager for Tompkins Community Bank in Yonkers. I'm right here on Boyce Thompson. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Amani Margie, Tompkins Maybach Bank.
Good morning, I'm Denise Donahue from St. John's Riverside Hospital. Thank you for joining us, and I think you'll hear a little bit more about what's going on here from Dr. Malizzi and Denise a little later. Thank you.
Thank you for hosting. My name is Evan Walker from Graphite Metallizing. We've been in Yonkers for 110 years, and we're still here.
Thank you. I just want to welcome the Honorable Senator Stewart Cousins.
Good morning, I'm Helen Henkel, retired from the city after 42 years. Proud to be here with the Chamber who promotes so much of Yonkers business. We need you. We need to have you support the Chamber and to support the city I love. Thank you.
And Helen still has raffle tickets, so if you didn't buy them yet, please see Helen.
Hey, check.
Oh, now you have to listen to me. Yonkers has started a revolutionary Yonkers 250 committee, which is specifically designed to educate people about what actually happened here in Yonkers. People here in Yonkers, oh, nothing happened here. We had major stuff. Valentine Hill twice was George Washington's headquarters in 1776 and 1781. You may be sorry you handed me the microphone. The other thing I wanted you to be aware, we'll talk. The other thing I wanted to make you aware of, in December, we were named the one and only, and in perpetuity, New York State, World War II American Heritage City, which is huge. There literally is only one in New York State, and this is it. We are it forever because of the wonderful activity and all the defense industries and the people whose main motivation was to bring the boys back home. One of the things I do want to mention, I'll probably embarrass him, Mr. Walker, president of Graphite Metallizing, is one of just 2 of the 75 defense industries we have had in Yonkers that still is in Yonkers. So we thank you very much for sticking with Yonkers and for what you did, or your company did during World War II. Thank you, Evan.
Good morning, Greg Arcaro, happy to represent both the Community Planning Council of Yonkers and the East Yonkers Rotary. And I don't know where Reverend Lopez is, but we could use a prayer for the Yankees.
Hi, Andrea Stewart Cousins. I am the senator from this district. I am the leader of the Senate in New York State, and I'm always happy to be at St. John's, and certainly applaud the Chamber for all that you do and continue to do in order to promote business and the thriving economy here in Yonkers. Always happy to work with you and happy to be here. Helen told me, I guess a couple of weeks ago, she said, you have to be at the Chamber breakfast. So okay, so there you know, not only will you buy a raffle from her, but you will listen to her. And I am also the proud parent of my daughter who works here, Candace. I know, I'm going to embarrass you. Who said, Ma, I know your busy schedule, you don't necessarily have to, but it would be nice. So here I am, I'm glad I'm here. Thank you.
I didn't know that, Candace. Good morning, I'm Sarah Brody. I'm from the Yonkers downtown bit. I'm the executive director. And thank you to St. John's Hospital. Thanks to the Chamber for being here. There's so many wonderful things that you do to support, the Chamber does to support the business, and the St. John's Hospital does to support the community. Really quickly, we have a turkey giveaway on November 23rd on a Saturday. We give to those who need for Thanksgiving. Thanks to ShopRite and thanks to everyone who's donated, as well as we have a tree lighting, a holiday tree lighting, Friday, December 6th at the Getty Square downtown. Please be there if you can.
Hi, Lindsay Houlihan, Deputy Communications Director for Senator Andrea Stewart Cousins.
Let's give everybody a hand.
Please see me or raise your hands. I'll be happy to come over to buy the raffles to support the organization. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Len Caro. For people that don't know, he's the new president of the Yonkers Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And it is an early morning because on my way here it was still dark. So it's such unusual for me. But first I want to say thank you for welcoming me. I'm honored to be your new president. And hopefully down the future and down the line together, we can build a chamber and work together to create a great place to work and live in Yonkers. It's important that we as members help each other. It's not one for one, it's each other. As a team, we can become strong. As a team, we can become the one that works to create jobs and internships for kids who need more things than you can imagine. But more importantly, I want to tell you a quick story about this great hospital. Unfortunately, a couple of months ago, I was here and with Lyme's disease. I got bit and Dr. Rabati got me here right away. And the service and the team that took care of me here, I will never forget them. Because of them, I'm probably standing in front of you today because they really did a phenomenal job in taking care of me. So to St. John, I must say to you, thank you for what you did for me, but thank you for what you do for everyone in Yonkers. And so at this stage of the game, we must try to take care of our health. I never expected that to happen, but things do happen. So at this point, I want to actually bring up Denise, our representative from St. John's.
You chickened out of the last name.
I know, I did.
My name is Denise Mananis. I am the Associate Vice President for, should I stand back here?
It's up to you.
Okay.
You want to use the podium?
Yeah, I'll use the podium, that's fine, okay. I am the Associate Vice President for External Affairs, which means nothing to almost everybody who hears that title, but it is fundraising, it is marketing, it is PR, it is community relations and government relations, and I've been doing this job in various forms for a very long time. I am a Yonkers girl. I grew up down the street. Literally, this is my neighborhood. I went to the local elementary school. I went to Sacred Heart High School. And I've been here, as I said, a long time, and I have an enduring passion for this hospital because the people who work here really reflect the community. And it's an important place. And so I wanted to share just a few little fun facts about St. John's before we introduce our speaker. How many of you realize that this was the first hospital between New York City and Albany? I know Mary, because Mary is the historian. I feel like I was there too. So yes, we were the first hospital founded in 1869 between New York City and Albany. We were founded by women, 6 women who were parishioners of St. John's Episcopal Church. And what was happening in 1869? It was the end of the Civil War. And they looked around and they knew that they needed to provide care to the community. And they couldn't do it, and families couldn't do it. So they got people together and they founded the hospital. And here we are. I'd like to say it was that, but not so fast. You might not realize we're the only maternity services provider in the city of Yonkers. Today, actually yesterday morning's count, we have officially 130,932 babies have been born at St. John's Riverside Hospital. I contributed 2. You got 2? Anybody else? Anybody out? There we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, all right. So, yes, I know you. Okay, we're all good. This hospital also was the institution that founded the Cochrane School of Nursing, which was the first hospital-based nursing school in the greater New York region. And we have a reputation for really great nursing care. Like many institutions in Yonkers, we really did suffer through COVID, and we have had an awful lot of things go on since then. And, a lot of industries got hit and people retired, and we've seen the same thing here. But I'm standing before you to tell you that there is a great resilience in this organization, and I'm so pleased to hear those 2 testimonies about the care that has been received here, because as I've been a patient here, and I know other people who have had to use our services, that's what we are looking for. We want to be that place that the community comes to, and if you think about all of the things that happen in our lives, natural disasters, pandemics, people turn to their hospitals, and we love our community, and our tagline is Community Strong, because during COVID, during that first surge, when we were on lockdown, we had 3,000 meals a week brought to our facilities from our community. That meant so much to our staff because they showed up here every day, didn't know what was going to happen, didn't know, how things were. They were afraid. They were afraid for their families, and yet here they came and worked and took care of our community. And so feeling that love back was really, really very important. just a couple of other things that are going on here, and then we'll get to the main event. I don't know if you realize it, but not only is the nursing school here, but we are the first, we have the first internal medicine and emergency medicine residencies. So we are training our physicians of the future. We have a partnership with LECOM, which is the Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. And their medical students and their pharmacy students do rotations here. So we've become an educational teaching hub for the future. And the beautiful part of that is that we get to keep some of those people. They fall in love with it. I fell in love with it. You fall in love with it and you stay. And that benefits all of you. And it makes our city a richer place to do business, a richer place to live. So with that said, I'd like to now get to the main event, and that is to our speaker. So, as I said, I'm a native of Yonkers. So is our speaker. Dr. Rafael Malizia is a Yonkers native, and he is a board-certified emergency medicine physician. He received his bachelor's degree from Fordham. Anybody else from Fordham here? We have a few on our administrative team. And his medical degree is from the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. He completed his residency at NYP Columbia and Cornell campuses, where he also served as chief resident. Dr. Malizia initially joined the St. John's medical staff in 2010. I still beat you in service, that's okay. Before becoming a full-time member and the director of the Dobbs Ferry Emergency Department in 2013. Since 2015, Dr. Malizia has served as the Andrus, this pavilion's emergency department medical director, and helped launch our first emergency medicine residency. That was in 2017. He is currently the chief of emergency medicine for the entire organization and has held that position since 2020. Beyond the emergency department, Dr. Malizia has been the medical director of our stroke program since 2017, and under his leadership, he has achieved top recognition from the American Heart Association and helped to lead the stroke program to St. John's first specialty-specific Joint Commission certification in 2020 for stroke. Since 2021, because he has nothing else to do, he has served as the Associate Vice President of Medical Affairs and has helped drive our organizational goals related to efficiency, quality, and performance improvement. He is a member of the Association for Physician Leadership and is completing training as a certified physician executive. Currently, I think your title is now Vice President of Clinical Operations. So there were a lot of titles in the process here. So with that, please welcome to talk about our future and our present, our future, Dr. Rafael Malizia.
Thanks for that great introduction. Now I don't have to go through my bio, so I appreciate that. Thanks to everyone for letting us be a host and for letting us talk a little bit about what St. John's has to offer. You know, Denise mentioned that our mantra is now, I guess, 155 years officially, years of being community strong, and it's a great collaboration to be a part of. I was one of the 130 approaching 1,000 that were born here. And I was born and raised in Yonkers. And so it's great to come back and take care of the community that I grew up in and see a lot of familiar faces. I went to St. John the Baptist down the road for elementary school and was part of the parish there. And it's faces that are recurring themes in your life, right? When you come back and folks show up and they say that I remember you in the lunchroom and all that kind of stuff, it's pretty remarkable. So welcome. I think lately, our focus has been really on the question of how can we be of service? And I think that mentality has led us to a mission-driven approach to what it is that we do. And there's a lot of exciting things that the hospital is doing, really focused on what the community needs are. And I'm going to take a few moments today to go through those and hopefully shed some light on some of the services that you may not have heard of, and also some of the changes that are happening to the services that you are aware of. Is there a clicker? This is the remote for the TV. Oh, right there. There we go. So a little bit about St. John's and just our scope. So we are in the Andrews Pavilion currently. This is our largest medical surgical acute care hospital. We see about 35 to 40,000 patients in the emergency department. It has about 140 beds upstairs, as well as a lot of outpatient clinics and services in terms of radiology, medical services appointments that patients come in and out of every single day. The Dobbs Ferry Pavilion joined the organization years back. That is our second acute care med-surg hospital. It has a 911 receiving emergency department as well as an inpatient ward. A lot of the volume that goes through Dobbs Ferry tends to be outpatient. It's the home of our joint center where a lot of orthopedic procedures happen, and then there are some primary care offices and specialty offices on site as well. The Park Care Pavilion, which is going to be a little bit of the focus of what I talk about today, is our third sort of pillar of the organization. It's our other inpatient facility. It's a large hospital, just like this one, but it's focused on behavioral health and substance use disorder. And so it's one of, if not the largest, inpatient detox and rehab facility in the state. We have about 140 patients there on a daily basis, pretty much split half between detox and rehab. And then I'll talk a little more also about some of the outpatient detox and rehab services that we actually have scattered throughout the county. Denise made mention of the Cochrane School of Nursing, which has undergone a lot of growth and improvement over the last few years, much more matriculating and applications, much higher success rates on the boards. So that's really been a shining star in our hospital as well. One big initiative, I'll talk about this later in terms of the details, is the medical group at Boyce Thompson. It sort of started at Boyce Thompson. Now we're trying to find places to fit it. But one of the focus of the hospital has been growing the employed physicians who are working and representing the St. John's brand, and extending that from primary care services to specialty services, and going from locally at Boyce Thompson to now scattered also throughout Yonkers and the county. And lastly, we have two ACGME accredited residencies. So we have converted from being a strictly community hospital to being an academic facility, or at least two academic departments. The EM program, like the hospital, is the first between New York City and Albany. And that started in 2017, and we've graduated several classes since then successfully. So what is the mission? When we ask how can we be service driven, and I sort of, it really comes back to the same theme, and ultimately that's, what does the community need from us? Our goal really is to provide comprehensive medical and nursing care in a compassionate, professional, respectful, and ethical way. But really it's to improve the care that we provide within each of our institutions and the quality of life in our community, and that goes far beyond just checking someone's blood pressure or checking their medicine, right? Our focus now, and I felt this more in the last 5 years than ever before, has been what are some new ideas, what are the directions and the initiatives that most effectively respond to the community healthcare needs. And so with that in mind, I wanted to talk about something that was launched organizationally. This is something that really is intended to hit the culture of the organization as a whole and really just be pervasive in terms of how we interact with one another and, more importantly, how we interact with our patients and our community. We partnered with Huron Consulting Group. They're a national organization that really comes in and talks about strategy and organizational growth, culture, brings it down to the weeds, let's say, of interacting with individuals. How do you give feedback? How do you monitor performance? How do you hold people accountable in a professional and respectful way? And this has really been a rebirth of a focus of how we operate on a daily basis, right? Everything from greeting one another when you're walking in the hallway to having difficult conversations with underperformers that might be on your team, and everything in between. And it's really been an incredible journey with them. We're approaching our 1-year anniversary. But as you walk through the institution, you'll see banners that say, AIDET, we call it AIDIT. But it's really something that Huron promotes as just an effective way of communicating in your life, not just professionally, but even in your personal lives. So the focus has been on patient engagement and communication, elevating the patient experience. You're going to hear that word a few times today, and then enhancing employee engagement through leadership rounds and mentoring. But like I said, it's really about establishing a culture of excellence throughout the organization, and it's been pretty incredible. So it's hard to talk about what a healthcare facility can do for their community nowadays, really throughout the country, without talking about substance use disorder and some of the services that we provide there. So St. John's has been fortunate to really have this as part of our core mission for a long, long time, even before the opiate crisis. And so we've had established experience handling this issue in the community and with patients, and also with patients' families. It focuses on opiate, alcohol, and stimulant use, and more importantly, some of the advances in medically assisted therapy that are out there now. Historically, the focus was really on counseling and therapy. There's been a lot of push over the last few years in terms of effective medications that don't necessarily promote more addiction, right? That was the problem in the previous decades. Now there's medications that can help you move past your addiction, but not necessarily be just addicted to another medication. Aside from the inpatient services at Park Care, which again have about 140 patients in it every single day, there are 3 large outpatient centers where we handle outpatient detox and rehab for patients who are not sick enough to be admitted. We've newly formed what's been dubbed the Comprehensive Recovery Center. You may have heard of the New Focus Clinic or the OTP Clinic at Park Care. Those have since merged and now become a Comprehensive Recovery Center. We're offering therapy and group services at that site in addition to medically assisted therapy. You've heard of methadone probably in the past. Hopefully you've heard of its alternate now. It's called Suboxone or buprenorphine. It's as, if not a more effective medication that doesn't create a separate addiction or dependence on opiates, but has significant impact in terms of letting people move on with their lives, be functional, not be dependent on another medication, and recover from opiate use. Our Greenberg Addiction Treatment Services, this is in Greenberg in White Plains. Some people call it Greenberg ATS, some people call it GATS. It's a large outpatient facility which offers lots of the same services: peer counseling, counselors in terms of social workers that are certified, nursing and physician presence in terms of medical assisted therapy, and a psychiatry presence for patients who have substance use disorder and need those requirements. There's a lot of group sessions that happen there, as well as individual therapy that happens, and the volume there is growing again. The scope of service is enormous. I took a part of my role starting in July was having the behavioral health services report up to me, and I took a visit there a few weeks ago, and it's incredible how, even if substance use is not pervasive in your life, right? If people get DWIs, they don't necessarily get alcohol issues, but there's things you have to do to sort of clear your license, et cetera. Those types of services are available through GATS, and those are the things that I didn't even know about after being here for 11 years. Similarly, our third outpatient center is the Archway Clinic. This is in Mount Vernon, offers a lot of the same peer, counselor, and physician services in terms of medically assisted therapy. So a large scope, a huge amount of patients that we take care of every single day, but certainly something that hopefully will start to get advertised more because this issue is very needed in our community. The Hope Center I want to mention because it does live in the Park Care Pavilion. It's a grant-funded outpatient center that focuses on HIV and hepatitis patients and offers primary care services to those patients. It's phenomenally run. The patients are extremely well taken care of, and I'll talk in a moment about some of the partnerships that we have with the Department of Health in terms of enhancing awareness and recognition of HIV and hepatitis. That includes this pavilion and Hope Center. So what are some new initiatives that we have? So the ED a few months ago partnered with the Department of Health, and we actually are increasing the amount of screening tests that we're performing for every patient that comes in through the department. So our EDs see about 130 patients a day. Starting a few months ago, every single one of those patients gets offered the ability and really has to opt out of just automatic HIV and hepatitis testing. And the reason for this is that there's a lot of lack of awareness amongst the community that these issues are out there. And just in the last 4 weeks alone, we helped 5 people discover that they had HIV or hepatitis and they had no idea, just through this routine screening. So we're looking to increase this number significantly because these illnesses are not, they're treatable, right? They're not death sentences the way they were decades ago. They're treatable. People can live long, healthy lives on them. So screening for them and getting people on treatment is extremely important, and it's been a great initiative that we've launched. These people get immediately connected to the Hope Center once they get their testing performed, so they can meet the experts and get started on their medications immediately. Low threshold buprenorphine, that's the Suboxone that I mentioned earlier. This push away from methadone and toward buprenorphine because of the ability for these folks to function more positively in their lives and also have better outcomes in terms of recovery from opiate use. We are now designated as a low threshold buprenorphine site, which means that if somebody is simply looking, they don't have any medical issues, but they want to change their life around, they have that sort of epiphany moment where they want to get help, and it's a Saturday afternoon and the clinics are closed, they can just show up to our emergency department and say, I'm looking to enroll in your buprenorphine program, and we'll get them started here with a 1-week prescription for medication, and then again an immediate connection to our behavioral health facilities where they'll continue to have counseling and then continuation of those medications. We've had really almost about 100 patients come over here in the last couple of months with this initiative alone. Word is getting out pretty rapidly, and I think the recognition that this is a better medication than methadone is starting to hit the community more importantly. So to be out there and to allow them to provide this service 24 hours a day has been a great partnership also. What are we about to do? So you heard me mention the Greenberg ATS Pavilion. It's very centrally located in the county, and it is a very focused effort in that area. What we've realized that our counselors have outreach attempts in terms of telemedicine and meeting with patients who can't necessarily get there every single day but can achieve their counseling services, but also patients who can come in before work, after work, meet with their peers, and have some counseling sessions. We want to expand this to some of the impaired professionals throughout the city and throughout the county, and we have efforts to launch that within the next couple of months, and hopefully you'll see some advertisements going out in terms of how to reach out to that and then get plugged into that service effectively. Gambling assistance is something we're looking to launch soon. We're finishing up the certification, but this is another addiction that's out there and is real, and it's something that we want to be able to provide within the scope of addiction services in general. And then we're looking over the next couple of years to expand into primary mental health. We all know it's a huge issue, it's a growing issue, and it's an under-resourced issue. And because of our core mission in terms of helping folks with substance use and mental health, we sort of have that bridge to expanding into that service line also. Any questions on the behavioral health stuff or substance use stuff? All right. So medical care. Our primary group has really expanded significantly over the last few years to now being 50 to 70 plus physicians that mix everything from primary care to specialty services. They started to grow out of the Boyce Thompson Center, and on your way here you probably saw that glass building with the St. John's sign. That's where most of our physicians are housed and the hub of it. But we also have outpatient physician services at Dobbs Ferry in terms of primary care and orthopedics. We recently opened a newly renovated site on Yonkers Avenue, sort of on Yonkers and Kimball Avenue, where there's primary care and specialty services, and there's an office now in Hartsdale also. So this hospital's presence throughout the city and the community is also growing, and really all of that just filters into the inpatient care that if needed. Other service lines that we cover, we have a large GI, gastroenterology group for all the endoscopies, colonoscopies. We've recently hired an advanced endoscopist who can do some of the procedures that we couldn't do before. A large orthopedic program, our joint center at Dobbs Ferry, really handles anything you can imagine, everything from shoulders and elbows and wrists to hips and knees and ankles. We have general surgery and vascular, as well as a large OBGYN practice that works very closely with our L&D service and delivers those 1,200 babies a year. In terms of centers, these are mostly on this site, the wound center and the hyperbaric chambers. Our wound center is mostly focused on diabetics, vascular patients who have chronic wounds and need wound therapy. More so, we've also been having them manage, just just new wounds for not chronically ill patients. We have plastic surgeons on site, general surgeons, as well as podiatrists. And then the breast center is in partnership with Montefiore. Many of you might recall the Ashikari Breast Center at Dobbs Ferry. That is now housed predominantly here. We still have mammography and stereotactic biopsies performed at Dobbs Ferry. We just got a brand new machine that does that and makes that procedure much more comfortable there. But we partner with Montefiore's breast surgeons and run the breast center out of the Boyce Thompson Center. Lastly, if any of you have ever tried to navigate the healthcare system, it's not the easiest thing in the world. We've recognized that, and over the last few years, we've launched our care coordinator team. It's our care transition team, and it's really one of the things I love to do outside of seeing patients in the ED is helping patients navigate the next step. Right in the ED, we don't have that continuity, and so my issue has always been, how do I help you get to that next step? And now we have a team of folks who identify patients who are being discharged with specialty needs, and will call within 24 hours of the next business day to make sure that our centers have reached out to you to make those appointments. So that has been a core piece of the success of driving volume and helping patients get the care that they need, because often it's easy to either give up or wait, and both of those are not helpful. So what are some things we're doing to improve our performance? Because before you can grow, you have to get better. And I think that's something that we also recognize over the last few years, particularly since COVID, when we've had sort of a lot of things come to light. But at the same time, COVID was a wake-up call for us, right? And we did come together very closely as an organization. It was probably a shining moment, best of times, worst of times sort of thing. But it did cause a lot of momentum coming out of it, because a lot of professional partnerships grew from that experience. And I think we started to recognize some of the things we need to do better. And part of them fall into these three realms, which I'm highlighting, but there are so many others. So patient safety was really one focus. Hospital-acquired infections is something that CMS is, the Medicare and Medicaid have recognized as a threat, right? As a threat to patients. And part of that is just not hospitalizing patients unnecessarily. Part of it is, if you are going to hospitalize patients, get them home as quickly as possible. But then there are other things you actively need to do to prevent infections from happening. And we now have dedicated teams on each of these things that tend to happen, rounding on those patients every single day to make sure that everyone who might be at risk for them is optimized in terms of preventing them. And we've had tremendous success. We've gone, I think the last one was 170 something days without any of these hospital-acquired infections. So it's been a really great progress, and one regionally that is outstanding. Improving length of stay for our hospitalized patients. I'll talk a little bit about the benefits of that, close to my heart, to the emergency department. Yes, it improves the risks of bad things happening in the hospital. Yes, it gets people home to where they need to be and where they're comfortable. But from an operational perspective, the hospital needs to move, right? There needs to be throughput, and decreasing length of stay is critical to opening the front door to allow patients to come into the emergency department. Bedside labeling and medication. This is an investment we've made over the last few months, just in terms of safety, making sure that the right patient is getting the right medication at the right dose at the right time. Our ED, for any of you who've unfortunately had to use it, the focus here has been on throughput and making the experience better. So historically, our wait times, the time it takes from the time you walk in the door to the time you're in front of a provider who's evaluating you, that time used to be upward between 45 and 50 minutes. Our biggest obstacle was space, getting patients into a bed so that they can actually be in front of the provider. And part of that goes to the size of our ED. Oh boy, what happened there? There we go. Part of it had to do with operational throughput. And improving the length of stay upstairs has opened up beds, which has allowed us to get patients into beds and in front of providers. And for the year to date, we've cut our wait times in half. So if you come to our emergency department today, you'll be in front of a physician from the time you walk in the door within about 24 minutes. A physician will be at your bedside evaluating you and putting in your orders. And this is an incredible improvement, at least compared to where we were just about 8 months ago. And every month we take off another minute. So the team is almost gamifying it, and they're competing with themselves at this point, which is exactly where you want to be. Dobbs Ferry, brag a little bit. Dobbs has been an incredible wait time always. You essentially walk straight into the emergency department and straight to your bed. We have about an 8-minute door-to-provider time at Dobbs Ferry. Tell your friends and keep that in mind. Cochrane School of Nursing, we heard an incredible stat at our department head meeting recently where the dean announced that the pass rate for the NCLEX, which is their board exam, is now over 90%. I think that's a 20% improvement from where it was a few years ago, which is why it's driving more volume and driving success. And we, as the hospital, are getting the benefit because we're actually hiring more of these nurses into our service lines, which has been incredible. And so, that performance allows for growth. I'll focus on a couple of things, and then I'll talk about our ED, which is my close to heart. So, radiology services. If you walk by the floor above this one, and you start to walk towards the emergency department, you'll see this shining beacon of light to your left, and that is our new radiology suite. It's got, it's all LED lights, and everyone sort of laughs that it looks like you're walking into heaven. But it really looks incredible. More importantly, for the patients, it's the services that it's providing. So we're getting brand new machines installed. The Dobbs Ferry CAT scanner is actually starting to get installed tomorrow. So there'll be a new CAT scan machine at Dobbs Ferry. There'll be a new CAT scan machine here. And for all of you who've ever had the misfortune of an MRI, we're getting a wide bore MRI on site here within the next 6 months. So that's just a larger circle, so you don't feel tight in there. And all of these are going to be state of the art, help with AI, and getting better, faster images for our patients. Surgical services. Right after the ED, which I'll talk about in a second, the operating rooms are going to undergo a large renovation. It's probably going to start planning in 2025 with plan for launch in 2026. So all of our ORs, including our ORs on the labor and delivery service, is going to be a second OR built there for our moms. And that's an expansion of surgical services. And lastly, I'll talk about the ED. So show of hands, how many people have been in our emergency department in the last 5 to 10 years? Okay. So it's snug. The ED was designed to see 23,000 patients a year. We're currently seeing 38 to 42,000 patients a year in that space. And the main ED, where the sicker patients go, the flow through there has not really changed so much. We have dedicated beds, those patients are on a monitor, and they have relatively private spaces, which is great. Where we've struggled is with privacy and space for our lower acuity patients, mostly like our urgent care types of patients, or patients who are not necessarily stuck in a stretcher and on a monitor. That front end treatment care, and that plus parking. So if you've come to our ED, you realized that the ED entrance, whether you're walking in or whether you're coming by ambulance, is in the back part of the building over here. The parking is in the front part of the building over here. So if you're a walk-in patient coming to our hospital today, somebody, unless you're coming alone, has to drop you off here and then drive around here and then come back to see you in the emergency department. The focus here is this gray area is our current emergency department. This is where we're seeing the 38,000 patients. You're walking in through here, and the rooms are restricted to this area here. Everything in color here is what the expansion is going to be. So it's more than double the square footage, more than double the number of treatment areas. And probably just as importantly, the walk-in entrance is going to move. The ambulances are still going to come around here because this is where our sicker bay is going to be. But if you come in as a walking patient, you're going to park and you're going to walk in through the front of the building where the Cochrane Nursing School entrance is, if you saw it on the blue side. When you walk in, you're going to see this as your waiting room instead of what you currently see. So much more modern, much more light. The group that we've partnered in terms of architects, they really fell in love with the natural landscape that you see behind me. And so they're actually enamored and want to bring that inside. And so this wall over here is going to look almost like the Palisades as you're looking down the hallway. But as you can see, the waiting room is much more modern and really focused on getting people through, getting evaluated, and then getting them into one of these beds. This part of the ED is really the focus. This is going to focus on those low acuity, don't need a stretcher, probably not going to get hospitalized patients who need emergency care, but who don't necessarily want to be in the mix with all the sickest patients that are in the hospital. So you'll be able to walk in and have an urgent care type experience where you'll get a bed quickly, get evaluated, not have to go through the back part of the hospital and then get discharged right back out to the parking lot. So separate walk-in entry is really the highlight, an expansion of those low acuity zones so we can take care of patients here and then get them out, get them back home. Versatile treatment areas. You know, if COVID taught us anything, is that we don't know what's coming. And so, you know, whether hospitals are going to be seeing sicker patients in the future, or B, that, you know, safety net access to be continued, is yet to be determined. I think our focus in doing this was to keep it flexible. And so no matter what medicine gives us in the future, we'll be able to flex these treatment areas to either be a stretcher with a monitor or a chair for patients who might want to be more comfortable that way. And then most importantly is the medical village concept that we talked about earlier, right? If you're trying to navigate the system, being seen in the emergency department is part of the system of care. There's a whole other piece of it that we need to connect folks with. And upon discharge here, really the MO behind this entire operation is what happens after they leave the ED. And do you make sure that patients who have access to primary care have access to specialty care if they need it? And so every patient on discharge will get connected to a navigator who, if they have a referral appointment, will follow up with them within 24 hours. So an expansion of that care coordination team that we talked about. And really set them up with a medical village and the St. John's system rather than just the emergency department visit. So that's been kind of our focus. That's what we've been up to. It started with enhancing our own performance of what we do, enhancing the quality of the services that we provide, making sure the patients are experiencing that and feeling that improvement, and that's allowing us to grow and serve our community better. So I'll end there and I'll take any questions.
Can I just add that on your tables are these flyers that you can join our family of followers on any of the platforms. We are expected to actually, we're not calling it a groundbreaking because we're not putting shovels in dirt. We're calling it a wall breaking. Will be happening in early December, and we're very excited. So stay with us.
Let's give Dr. Melitza a round of applause. Thank you. Okay, next I'm going to ask Denise to come up and pull the door prize. It's a blue ticket.
Good grief, I can't see it. Can you
Okay.
see it? Okay, good.
3389427. I don't even know what mine is. Okay, again, the number is 3389427.
Got a win.
Okay, congratulations, Manny. And the next raffle is a 50/50. It's $60, and I just want to, hold on one second. Denise, you. Denise? Oh. Oh, Doc. And the winning number is 122351. 122351. I don't know what mine are. Okay, we'll pull another ticket then. Okay. And the new number is 122347. Oh, congratulations. I just want to thank everybody for coming today. Have a good day.
I want to get St. John in that middle.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I want that. You should be. I want to get the doctor and I want to get the chair. Nora?
Doctor, can we do a real quick picture?
Yeah, it's okay. We need to talk.
Yes, my name.
Maybe, yeah. Today.
All right, yes, today. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you, Chuck.